Hi, and welcome to the Art of Advocacy show. Today, you and I are going to be exploring the concept of giftedness. And yes, even our kids with disabilities have gifts. We'll also look at how you can share your child's gifts at IEP meetings and change that to a positive tone. That's a pretty cool idea, right? So, I'm Charmaine Tanner. I'm a parent, advocate, and author of a #1 best-selling book, The Art of Advocacy, A Parent's Guide to a Collaborative IEP Process. About 24 years ago, I had the privilege of hearing a self-advocate from Canada speak, Judith Snow. She explained that most of us have ordinary gifts. We can walk and talk and read and figure out math problems. Some of us might lack those ordinary gifts, but we have extraordinary gifts. And this got me to think about our son, Dylan, who at the time was 3 years old, and Dylan happens to have Down syndrome. One of our focuses and our major goal for Dylan was that he be fully included when he went to school into general ed classrooms. Well, at the time, I was a special education teacher, and I knew expecting full inclusion for Dylan was going to be a challenge because so many times I think teachers look at kids with disabilities and see their challenges and their needs and not those strengths and gifts that they have. So one evening we decided we would have a family meeting, and we all sat down and talked, Dylan and his older brother and sister and my husband and I, and we started talking about the gifts and the strengths that each of us have. When we began to list Dylan's gifts, I made sure I jotted them down, and then the next day I typed them up. I knew that his IEP meeting was going to be coming up, and I wanted a way to start the meeting talking about his strengths and setting that positive tone for the meeting. So I got an empty box and wrapped it up in gift paper, made copies of Dylan's list of gifts, and put them inside the box. We were so excited as we went to the meeting with our gift box. When we got there, I asked to speak first. I explained the concept of giftedness and shared my story of what I learned from Judith Snow. Then I took the top off the gift box and passed it to the person next to me and asked each person to take a copy of Dylan's gifts. Here are some of the gifts that we shared that day. Dylan's unconditional love for others, his curiosity and sense of humor, great memory skills, his undaunted spirit, how he can teach others the value of belonging, and he's a kid that likes to have fun. Well, this was such a wonderful way to start an IEP meeting. Usually when we go to IEP meetings, the first thing we hear are all about our kids' deficits, their low test scores, what they can't do, right? Have you been to those kind of meetings? Well, let's try something different. What I'd love for you to do is to think about your child's strengths, his gifts, his interests, his talents, and you can make a list, just simply putting a piece of paper on the refrigerator. And every time you notice something that your child does well, or what he was successful doing at school, what he loves to do at home on the weekends, jot it down and keep this ongoing list. Some parents even use an app on their phone, and that's a way for them to jot down notes about their child's gifts. So some concrete things that you can do is #1, make that list of your child's gifts. And before you go to the next meeting, type it up and bring it with you. Either you or your child can share it with the staff. One of the things I want to make sure you do is to get that list written in the actual IEP document. Many times parents bring written input to the meeting and the staff often says, "Oh, thanks, we'll attach this to the IEP." Well, for some reason, attachments have a way of getting lost. So what I recommend to families that I work with is to actually find a place in the IEP document that information can be written in. So in this case, it might be under present level of performance, one of those sections, or some IEPs have a separate box for the student's strengths, talents, and interests, and that's where you could put it. One of the side benefits of having this list of strengths is when your child can identify their gifts and share with others what works for them. And then as they grow older, when they begin speaking up for themselves more, they'll be able to share this information. So you'll be modeling advocacy skills, and then later your child will use these as self-advocacy skills. Another benefit of having your list is when your child is having one of those terrible, horrible, no good, very bad, I want to move to Australia days, ask your child to go to the refrigerator and take down the list of his gifts, and the two of you can sit together and chat and talk about all the things that he can do, what new accomplishments he's made, the wonderful things that you love about him. I know when we had our goal for Dylan to be fully included, we were actually able to meet that goal by having him fully included all the way from preschool through college. And I think one of the factors that made that successful is because we always focused on taking what Dylan enjoyed doing and using his strengths to teach him new skills and concepts. And this really made all the difference in his education. So if today's tips have been helpful, I would love for you to hop on over to my website. It's www.cspeda.com, and you can sign up for my newsletter. It used to be once a month, but I've started writing them once a week, and they have lots of tips and tools and strategies and inspirations that you can use to become an even more effective advocate for your child. So you just type in your first name and email address, and you can get that sent right to your email box. The Art of Advocacy show will be about using this list of your child's gifts so you can help teachers develop more effective instructional strategies so your child can learn more. That's what we like, right? So remember that I'm here to help you on this journey. As a parent, I know how important it is for us to speak up for our kids. As a retired teacher, I understand the education system, so I'd love to help in any way that I can to help you on this journey for advocating for your child. So until we see you again at the next show, take care and have a great day.